Welcome to the Lincoln City Council meeting of May 9th, 2022. In accordance with LB 898, please be advised that a copy of the Opens Meetings Act is posted at the back of the chamber by the northwest door. Let us all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief period of silent meditation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The order of business of the City Council is as follows. The clerk will call the items listed on the agenda. Under public hearing, anyone wishing to speak on an item should come forward after the clerk reads that item. The council shall require any member of the public desiring to address the council to identify themselves, the name of an organization or group, including an address that you may be representing by such person or group unless the address requirement is waived to protect the security of the individual. The applicant may then make one short rebuttal. Each speaker should begin by stating their name, their address, organization, or group, and whether you speak in favor of or in opposition to the item. Testimony is limited to 5 minutes per speaker. After all public hearings, the council will vote on resolutions and items listed under third readings. On the second and last Mondays of the month, immediately prior to adjournment, anyone may speak on any issue not on the agenda for that date or planned for a future agenda. Will the clerk please call the first item of business?
Our first item of business for today's meeting on Monday, May 9th, 2022 is our consent agenda, sections 1 and 2.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak on items 1 or 2? Anyone that would like to speak on items 1 or 2? Seeing none, let's go ahead and move on.
We can vote on these items. Item 1A is approving a professional services agreement supplement number 1 for preliminary engineering services between the city and Kirkham Michael and Associates for the 56th Street from Spruce to Van Dorn project. Introduced by Becky.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion? Seeing none, may you please call the roll?
Raybold?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1B is approving a professional services agreement supplement number 1 for environmental services between the city and Kirkham Michael and Associates for environmental services for the 56th Street from Spruce to Van Dorn project, introduced by Beckius.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion? Seeing none, may you please call the roll?
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1C is resolution levying the special taxes assessed for the cost of the improvements in the College View Maintenance Business Improvement District, Havelock Maintenance Business Improvement District, North 27th Street Maintenance Business Improvement District, South Street Maintenance Business Improvement District, University Place Maintenance Business Improvement District, and West O Street Maintenance Business Improvement District, introduced by McGinnis.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion? Seeing none, may you please call the roll?
Ward?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1D is approving the distribution of funds representing interest earnings on short-term investments of idle funds during the month ended March 31st, 2022, introduced by McGinnis.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilman Beckius. Any discussion? Seeing none, may you please call the roll?
Beckius?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Item 1E is setting the hearing date of Monday, May 23rd, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. on the assessment of costs incurred by the city for building demolition on property located at 3830 Vine Street and 3119 Q Street. Assessment of the costs incurred by the city for property cleanup on property located at 340 Northwest 19th Street and 2304 South 24th Street. An assessment of the fees and penalties for neglected buildings and property located at 2958 North 54th Street, 5120 L Street, 2809 F Street, 3141 North 48th Street, 1028 Furnace Avenue, 2641 South 9th Street, 3535 Somerset Ave, 1310 North 25th Street, 1402 North 25th Street, 2754 Pear Street, and 5320 Bristolwood Place and 411 E Street, introduced by McGinnis.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion? Seeing none, may you please call the roll?
Raybold?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Section 2, items 2A through 2E was introduced by Schob.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Councilwoman Washington. Any discussion? Seeing none, may you please call the roll?
Ward?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
Raybold?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. That concludes our consent agenda. We'll move on to Section 4, Public Hearing, Ordinances, Second Reading, and Related Resolutions. Item 4A is amending the pay schedule for employee group whose classifications are assigned to the pay range which is prefixed by E by changing the pay range class 0631 Executive Aid from E02 to E12.
Is there anyone that would like to speak on this item?
All right, this is an existing classification that we just haven't used in multiple years. So the mayoral staff has identified a need for it. We're bringing it forward at this time. It will not add any FTE to the department, though.
Any questions or comments from the council? Councilman Show?
Introduction.
Oh, can you please say your name and
Sorry,
address, please?
Barb McIntyre.
Okay. Any other questions from the council? Okay, seeing none, is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item, please.
And we're going to let her off so easy.
Next is item 4B, approving an agreement for tower space and appurtenances between the city and Dish Wireless LLC to occupy the use of certain city-owned parcel of real property and tower generally located at 4375 South 33rd Street.
Councilwoman Washington?
I'd like to make a motion of continuance
With public hearing
with public hearing, that's right.
until next week.
Until next week. Thank you. I'm so
Second.
sorry. Yes.
By Councilwoman Washington, seconded by Councilwoman Raybold. Any discussion on Councilwoman Washington's motion to delay?
I think it's Councilwoman Washington with assistance from Jane Raybold.
Stockton to Malone.
Yeah.
Any other statements or comments? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and take the roll call vote on Councilwoman Washington's motion.
Just a point of clarification, only delay for public hearing for 1 week, correct?
You can
Correct.
ask
That is
if
correct.
he is here.
Oh, is there anyone here that would like to speak on this item while we have it on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll go and go.
Raybold?
Yes.
Washington?
Yes.
Ward?
Yes.
Schob?
Yes.
Beckius?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Bowers?
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0. Resolutions, first reading, section 5 are items 5A through 5J. Ordinances, first readings are items 6A through 6M.
I think we need to vote on item 4A. Oh, no, we don't. I'm wrong. Sorry.
Nope.
Okay. We're now in the open microphone session. If anyone wishes to address the council on a matter not on this agenda or plan to appear on a future agenda, you may do so at this time. Individuals are allowed a total of 5 minutes to speak, regardless of number of topics. When you come up, please say your name and address, please.
Jane Kinsey with Watchdogs of Lincoln Government. Watchdogs protest any settlement of the litigation or payment of almost $500,000 to a member of BLM, Elise Poole, because she says she was injured by an object, partially had her nose injured on her face. This object has never been proven to come from LBT, but the department is maligned by her and her defense team. We have always had a great police department, and it is very act by the city that undercuts their authority, paying people who, at their own risk, put themselves in harm's way in what may be a violent confrontation should not be rewarded if they become injured. Indeed, this lawsuit is encouraged by the settlement of that money. More may come. Actually, on the claim is listed one by Kyle Mitchell Scott at the same event. It's like kidnappers paying people because of copycat events that may be encouraged, or paying for the release of hostages in which this would happen. All lawful government involved with this situation should advise against monetary payments Yet our city attorney, under the authority of the mayor, agreed to do so. It is well-known fact that the city attorney department acts under the mayor's authority, and charges against the protesters who broke the law on that night have had their charges dropped. And now she allows this payment also. BLM is behind the protests. It has been discredited. 2 lawsuits by the attorneys general of California and Indiana have been filed because thousands of dollars are missing from BLM treasuries, and no one is accountable for the management of their finances. Taxpayers are being misused by the mayor and her offices because of her inability to stand up for the truth. And she allows people to play on her emotions of compassion for minorities. Well, Ms. Mayor, the government is not in the business of reacting to emotions and compassion. Facts and justice are under the underpinnings of our democracy and government agencies, and there is none in this situation. She is out of step with Lincoln government and its citizens, and this council has agreed to such payments too, I suppose. We've always had a good police department. They have used community policing to keep in touch with citizens and to be careful about what they do and to have a rapport before they enforce their authority. This is not right at this time to mistreat our police department. They have been undercut. Whiners and complainers have caused them to be investigated, and even their own police chief has decided that she is going to go along with that. This is not right. When you demoralize a police department, you will have what has happened in Portland, Minneapolis, and Seattle, which is people who rise up, abuse authority, and get away with it. We don't want to see this happen in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have been a safe place. We have had a good police department who uses their authority appropriately.
Time.
Now, if there's bad apples, they need to be discouraged or removed. But I'm not sure that we've ever had bad apples, so to speak, in the past.
Thank you.
What's going to happen is
Lindsay, we're at the 5-minute mark.
police will resign, and they have resigned, and you're not going to be able to get more people to go to a department that's been demoralized and is undercut by the administration.
Thank you so much for your comments, Ms. Kinsey.
We need to consider this seriously and do your bit to keep it from happening.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to see you stand up for the police.
Kinsey, I have to hold you to the same rules that I hold everyone else to, and that's 5 minutes. And
What?
I have to hold you to the same rules that we hold everyone else to, and
Okay,
that's
my
5
5
minutes.
minutes is up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak for open mic?
Hello. My name's Casey Ogle. That's Kaseyyogle, and I'm the staff attorney for Collective Impact Lincoln. And CIL knows throughout our work in the neighborhoods and throughout the city of Lincoln that there's a dire need for increased access to affordable and adequate housing. As I mentioned the last time I came and spoke with you all, we have 3 policy solutions that we think would help address these issues: a source of income anti-discrimination law, an inclusionary zoning ordinance, and a proactive rental inspection scheme. I'm looking forward to continuing to speak to you all about those issues, but today I'm here on a separate but related issue. To meet our city's need for affordable housing, it's clear that in addition to preserving our existing affordable housing, new construction is needed. For example, the Affordable Housing Coordinated Action Plan calls for new construction of over 5,000 units that rent for $1,000 or less by the year 2030. However, over the last year, as housing developments proceed through this council for approval, there's been significant opposition from members of the community. Building additional housing is important, but it's not enough to build developments that do not meet the needs of our community. It's important that new housing developments are done in a way that centers the needs of our neighbors. To that end, we, Collective Impact Lincoln, has developed an equitable development scorecard. That's what I'd like to talk to you about today. And that scorecard is specifically designed to help analyze whether any particular development is built with equity in mind. This scorecard was adapted from a similar tool made by a group called the Alliance in the Twin Cities, Minnesota area. CIL has worked on this scorecard for over a year, in part because we heard from community members that a tool like this is needed to help evaluate proposed housing developments. The scorecard we've developed is designed to provide a uniform way to evaluate whether a housing development will ultimately benefit our community and address our need for affordable housing. We have 6 sections in the scorecard to get at these issues: equitable decision-making, affordable housing, development accessibility, economic impact, environmental impact, and equitable land use. The criteria in each section were carefully selected and crafted to reflect what an ideal equitable development would look like. Our scorecard is intentionally ambitious because we believe that as a community, we should have vigorous, detailed conversations about a housing development's various impacts on our community before public support and funds are invested in a development. I invite you all to check out our scorecard. You can find it on our website. It's at civicnebraska.org/speakup/EDS. I also want to extend an invitation to each of you and to everyone listening to join us this Wednesday, May 11th at 5:30 for a community builder workshop where we'll discuss the impacts of housing developments and learn more about the scorecard and hear feedback from the community as well. I know some of you have already registered. We're very excited to see you there, and I hope that the rest of you join us. We'll be gathering at Antelope Park, shelter number 1, and dinner's provided. So that's it. I hope that we all see you there. And that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Shob?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Echols, would you repeat that website address for that tool again, please?
Absolutely. It's civicnebraska.org/speakup/EDS.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Any further questions? Seeing none, thank you so much.
thank you.
Is there anyone else here that would like to address the council at this time? Anyone else that would like to address the council at this time? Okay, seeing none.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Raybold, seconded by Councilman McGinnis. Any discussion? Seeing none, may we please call the roll?
Raybold,
Yes.
Washington,
Yes.
Ward,
Yes.
Schob,
Yes.
Beckius,
Yes.
McGinnis,
Yes.
Bowers.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
We stand adjourned.